On this video, I wanted to do on contest placings. If you've ever competed or you're going to be competing this year or now, then contest placings is like, how important is that to you? Just from my own personal experiences, um, when I first started this sport, everything was about placing, like coming first. Everything was about winning a show. There was a local show. I grew up in Fremont, California, so my gym that I went to, the promoter owned the gym there, and he promoted Mr. Fremont. And back then there was no internet or nothing like that, so this was the show in the area to do. And I wanted to be Mr. Fremont so bad. I mean, Mr. Fremont to me was like the Olympia for like the IFBB. It was like, that's how serious I took it. And so yeah, I trained my ass off just specifically for that show to become, Mr. Fremont. In 1993, I won Junior Mr. Fremont. In 1994, I won Short Class Mr. Fremont, and in 1995, I took second. So never did become Mr. Fremont, but I came close. But um, it was just that I wanted that to be able to say, "Oh, I'm Mr. Fremont." So when I was younger, that was so important to me. And in hindsight, looking at that was like in the early 90s, so looking at almost 20 years ago, now I look at it like, oh, wow, I devoted all that time in contest prep, like weeks and weeks of work for one day, and I focused only on one day. So I never really enjoyed the journey leading up to that one day, and so I missed out on a lot of fun along the way, because I was so uh, set on placing well. And the reality is, there's no way you can control what others are doing. So you can't control what the other person's training. You can't, punch them in the face so they can't train harder than you. You can't change their diet for them. You can't make them do less cardio or whatever. The only thing you have control over is yourself. So the only thing you can do is bring the best possible package you can to the stage, and then wherever placing you land is wherever you land. So if you're letting a placing dictate your enjoyment of the sport, you can be a miserable person if you're not coming out on top. And so if I were to fast forward to 2002, when I did the Texas Shredder Classic, I think I prepped for that show for 14 weeks, and I probably just was so focused and determined more than any other prep. I mean, my heart and my mind was just set on winning a natural pro card. I mean, I was just focused solely on that. My whole world in life revolved around that one day. Um, so my outside world, out of bodybuilding, was kind of neglected. So it just overall, it just wasn't. I mean, at the time, I was pushing hard, and it was what I wanted to do, and I was so motivated. That's what I was set on doing. That um, when push came to shove, right when I got to the show, um, I didn't win. I came in second place. It was a kind of a disappointing loss, and I took it really, really hard. And so basically, I had 4 first place votes, 2 seconds, and I think 1 or 2 seconds, and then I had 2 fifths. Well, the fifth place votes caused me to lose by, I think, 1 point. So I really took that to heart, and I got pretty depressed about it. So looking back on it now, it's like I let that placing, I let those 2 judges, whoever gave me fifth, basically that's how I look at it now. I let those 2 people dictate my success and my enjoyment of the sport. Um, because I was so set on winning, and I really took it to heart. And I was depressed after that. I don't think I competed again 2 years later, but it was just because it was my brother wanted to compete, so I did it with him, but my heart wasn't in it. So it wasn't until 2006 when I competed again where I was actually motivated and was having fun again in the sport. I got a little bit bitter after that loss in 2002. Mad at the judges, mad at just like I should have won. I was better than those people. That's how I was looking at it. And instead of just really appreciating and enjoying the work that I put in for that show, um, that was the best I had ever looked up to that point as far as condition wise. And here I was. I traveled from California to Texas, and I talked to a couple of people backstage, and that was fun. But I was in competition mode, so I really didn't enjoy the atmosphere backstage like I should have. I didn't enjoy the people like I should have. I was just there as a competitive athlete trying to win a pro card. It wasn't, hey, I'm going there to have fun, to meet new people, to get a good experience from this and have fun. And so yeah, that show taught me quite a bit, and it took me a while to realize it, but it wasn't until 2009 when I got that whole competitive season in 2009 that I had a different approach to prep mindset. I should say, instead of training to win and to beat others, I was training for myself and first and foremost enjoy what I was doing, and then second was to be the best that I can be, and whatever happens happens. I didn't take much stock into what the judges were saying. I didn't let a judging panel dictate my enjoyment of the sport. And so yeah, 2009, I was like, up until that point, that was my best season ever. And I didn't have no pressure to try to win anything. So I trained in a much more relaxed state. I enjoyed myself a lot more. I enjoyed the training I was doing. I enjoyed the cardio I was doing. My outside life was a lot more relaxed. So yeah, it just bodybuilding, outside life, and just my whole mental approach was so much different. So I ended up going into the NJ California show, and I won my pro card there, which was good. I wasn't expecting to win everything, but it turned out that way, so that was a good thing. And then I went to the capital city, which was the next show, which is now the Muscle Mayhem, and I won the lightweight class. And then I went into the overall against Moji Alua, and that was such a fun overall. We actually got a standing ovation in the pose down. It was so entertaining. So it was so much fun, and I ended up losing by 1 point, but it was a different feeling for me. It wasn't like 2002 where I lost by a point and I was bitter, because I felt like I got screwed or anything like that. I lost by a point to one of the best natural bodybuilders in the world. So to me, it was a kind of an aha moment as far as being competitive. Like, hey, I can really hang with some of the best of the best. And at the same time, it was like I was just happy to have been in an overall against someone so great, and I did so well. So I had a great time. Um, and after that show, it wasn't bitter. I had a great time. Next day, I celebrated with family, and then I think it was like 3 weeks later, I went to Washington, won my pro card there, which turns out to be a good. I won by 1 point, so there you go. Karma kind of flipped around, and I got to win by 1 point. But I had a great time. That backstage, I talked a lot with Eric Helms and Alberto Nunez, and that's where we really bonded and informed 3D Muscle, where 3D Muscle Journey started to come about, where all these ideas started to come about for 3D Muscle Journeys. We were all talking backstage about certain things about natural bodybuilding. We all had the same philosophies and thoughts, and so yeah, getting to know those guys was a good thing. So again, I didn't have that competitive drive, trying to win and shutting myself down socially backstage because I was a competitive athlete. And I kept myself open, had fun, enjoyed everybody, and I think I was promoting the natural movement for 3D Muscle Journey at the time. So I was trying to get people backstage to come to the natural movement on 3D Muscle Journey, and I think I did write up a few articles for those people. So it was a great experience. So my whole thing was not about a placing. It was, hey, let's go have fun and meet people, have some good experiences. And if I didn't have that mindset, I don't think 3D Muscle Journey would be where it is today. Um, I might even been. It probably would have been out Eric, Alberto, and Brad, and maybe someone else. Maybe it would have instead of myself. So, and maybe it wouldn't be 3D Muscle Journey, it'd be something else. So, just very fortunate that I learned my lessons from 2002 and putting so much emphasis on placings to, hey, let's make this about having fun, enjoying experiences, and hey, if I win first place, great. That's just icing on the cake. And then 2011, same thought process. Hey, let's just go have some fun. Wherever my placings land, wherever they land, and I didn't let judging panels dictate my success in the sport. That's up to me. That's totally up to me. I don't let a placing dictate my enjoyment. And it's at the Orton Cup we had uh, on the judging panel was Philip Ricardo Jr. and Doug Miller. So you had two of the best natural bodybuilders on the planet judging the Orton Cup, and I ended up 7th place. And a lot of people say, hey, go up to the judges and get their opinions, what you need to work on. Again, it's not like I don't respect those guys or the rest of the judges on that panel, but I didn't need to go up to a judge and ask what I need to work on, because no matter what they tell me, I did everything I could leading up to that show to be at my very best, and that's all I can ask. And with that, I was happy. I'm happy with myself, so I didn't need validation from them to say, hey, work on this, or you did great with this, um, because this inside, I know I'm happy. So, so yeah. So if you're competing this year, or if you competed in the past and you kind of had the same mindset I did as far as placings, um, change if you guys. I'm not saying you have to do it, but if you change the outlook of the way you think about placings, you're gonna have a lot more fun and you probably have a better experience. And just when you guys are at a show, talk with everybody, support one another, because you just may learn something from someone else back there, and you may gain a new friend. You may gain a lot more than just, hey, look at this trophy I have, first place, because no one remembers I was junior Mr. Fremont. No one remembers I was short class Mr. Fremont. And probably 10 years from now, no one's going to even know I had pro cards. So, but when you look at your photos and you could talk to the people you met backstage 10 years later, that's what you're going to remember the most. So that's kind of my ramble for placings. And I have a ton of trophies, and when I look at those trophies, I don't think like, oh, that's first place, that's second, and that's third or whatever. I look at them and go, okay, yeah, that's my trophy from 1994 when I did the Mr. Fremont. I remember I had a great friend named John Kirk that I trained with back in the day, and when I look at that, that's what I think of. I don't think of first place. I think of John Kirk when I see that. Or when I look at my IFPA medal, um, I don't think, oh, I got second place at the international. I look at it and go, oh wow, that's the show I shared with Alberto Nunez and Brad Loomis. So those are the things that mean a lot more than just saying, hey, I came in first, or hey, I came in second. So um, so if you're on stage and you feel like you should have won and you didn't, uh, just think it's the experience you're gaining and the fun you're having. So try to let that speak volumes and not the placings. But anyways, I am out for this one. This is a pretty long video, so thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for not making fun of my headset. But anyway, I'm out.